This was my first ever sketchbook and I finished it 5 years ago. In this video I will flip through the sketchbook with you and tell you a little bit about myself and my art. Stay tuned, I will try my absolute hardest not to cringe, but this is just another part of my art journey, so let's get into it. And here it is, my first ever sketchbook. The title says 2017, but I actually started it in the beginning of 2016, and some of the later drawings in there are from 2018. Filling the sketchbook was a slow journey because I still had to get used to drawing in a book and not on a plain sheet of paper. As you can see, I commented on my own sketches a lot. If you watched this video, you'll know that there was a time in my art journey where I hated my creations, and this sketchbook is definitely from that time. The first pages are just messy manga-style drawings of my own characters that I used to have back in the days. I always wanted to draw my own comics, so I created lots of different characters for my story. Of course, that never happened, and looking back now with a little bit of experience, creating a comic wouldn't have made me happy. I drew a little comic for art school and I hated every step of it. So I'm kind of glad I didn't put myself through the struggle of creating a full story. If I remember correctly, some of these first pages were all filled on the same day, and I think I drew them in the car because my family went on vacation and we had a long car ride ahead of us. And then I abandoned the sketchbook for a few months and decided it was time for a fresh start. So I created this title page for the next chapter of my sketchbook. Here's when the drawing started to become slightly better than before. I practiced a lot of hands because I wanted to master them, and it worked. Today, hands are one of my absolute favorite things to draw and paint. At this point I realized that a sketchbook is a place to study, to mess up and to try again. But my perfectionism made me want to only have flawless pages in my sketchbook because I loved showing it off and I didn't want other people to see my ugly sketches. Today I look back and laugh because no one wakes up and starts creating masterpieces. A perfectly polished sketchbook filled with finished drawings isn't really a sketchbook, right? I really like the drawing style I used to have. Creating art is so much fun if you actually like what you're doing, and I remember being so proud of these. Of course, there are some ugly sketches in between, but all in all I was pretty satisfied with how my sketchbook looked at that time. I was so proud of this page. I wanted to study different styles of shoes just in case I needed it for a future project. This was also a very good exercise for drawing feet from different angles. I still struggle with drawing feet to this day, but that's just because I never draw them. Studying all kinds of things was a game changer for me because drawing new things became a lot easier over time. I also did lots of studies of different poses of human bodies and faces, just a lot of various sketches. I almost never used references because my sketchbook was a place to draw in when I wasn't at home. So most, if not all of these sketches were created on the go. And given the fact that I was 15 years old and didn't use references, these are pretty good. This was my very first drawing of 2017. Again, on vacation, no reference. I still love this drawing so much because it gives off such a raw feeling that I remember exactly how I felt in that moment. Here are some BTS fan arts because I used to listen to K-pop back in the days. I don't anymore. It's not my type of music, like, at all. When I got my Copic markers, my sketchbook became a place to practice with them too. But as you can see, they bleed through the paper, so you have to be really careful. Here's the sketch of the Pokemon drawing that I finished digitally. My workflow used to be so different compared to today. Now, this is slightly embarrassing because I made a mini comic about Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Yeah, let's just skip that. And here are some more sketches of human figures that I did at school, in class. when I wasn't supposed to be drawing. But I didn't care, because I hated it. Enjoy! And of course, more studies of hands, but this time I tried to critique myself by talking down on my art. You shouldn't do that. Don't be so hard on yourself. This page is so important because these are my very first dragons. Look at them. They look so derpy. Ah! It's so crazy to see how my dragons evolved. Same as with the hands, I wanted to master dragons, so I studied the crap out of them, and again, it worked. Here in this pouch I found some more sketches and I actually really love that drawing style. But yeah, that concludes my very first sketchbook. As you can see, my first sketchbook isn't a masterpiece and it doesn't have to be. Every artist has to create bad art before they can create good art, and my sketchbooks played a huge role in that process. I have so many sketchbooks I want to look through in future videos. Let me know if you like this idea too. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week. Bye.